Hello everyone, welcome to Horario. This is me Abhinand here and I am here with a new session of our 8th standard chemistry chapter properties of matter. So we have learned about a number of substances and their properties. Okay, now I have water and sugar solution. Which one would you prefer to have? Obviously you would prefer sugar solution to water because it has sweetness. But water doesn't have sweetness. Why? Because there is sugar in sugar solution and there is nothing else in water. So, this is water and this is sugar solution. Here the all particles inside the water is identical. All are water particles, but in the case of sugar solution, along with the water particles there will be sugar particles. So, sugar solution has two kind of particles, but water has only one kind of particles. But both are substances and both are liquids. So, still there is some differences. Why? So, from this we can understand that we can classify substances based on the nature of the particles. Okay. So, we can classify substances into two based on the nature of particles present in them. There are pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are substances made up of particles which are identical in nature. There is only one kind of particles present in pure substances, but in the case of mixtures, these are substances made up of particles of different nature. There may be two or more than two type of particles present in mixtures. So, here we have a number of substances and we are going to classify them as pure substances and mixtures. So, here we have gold, carbon dioxide, sugar solution and salt solution, soil, water vapor and ice. So, we need to classify these substances based on their nature as pure substance and mixtures. So, first one is gold. Think about gold. Is there two or more particles inside gold? No, there is only one kind of particles inside gold. So, gold is a pure substance. Next one is carbon dioxide. Think about carbon dioxide. It is also a pure substance. There is only one type of particles present in carbon dioxide. Next is sugar solution. We have seen that sugar solution has two types of particles. They are water particles and sugar particles. So, the water solution is a mixture. Next is soil. Think about soil. In soil there may be number of components. There may be silica, there will be sand, etc. So, it contains a number of particles. So, it belongs to mixtures. Next one is salt solution. Similar to sugar solution, it also contains water particles and salt particles. So, it has two kind of particles. So, it belongs to mixture. Another one is sugar. Sugar is a substance made up of only sugar particles. There is none other substances or particles present in sugar. It is made up of purely sugar particles. Next is about water. Water is also a pure substance because it contains only water particles. And then ice. Similar to water, ice is also contains only particles of ice. There is no other particles present in ice. Then next one is water vapor. Water vapor is also a pure substance. There is only one kind of particles present in water vapor. So, we have seen a number of substances and we classified them into pure substance and mixtures. So, pure substances are substances made up of particles which are identical in nature, and mixtures are substances made up of particles which are different in their nature. So, most of the substances present in our nature is mixtures. Think about their components. There may be some occasions when the components have to be separated. Which are those situations? Are you familiar with such situations? Here I have some situations. So, these situations are familiar to you. First one is separation of tea drug from tea. And next one is separation of husk from paddy. And the third one is separation of iron powder from a mixture of iron powder and aluminum powder. And the fourth one is separation of salt from seawater. These are most commonly occurring situations where there needs separation of components from the mixture. So, let us see how these components are separated from those mixtures. Okay, so we have situations like separation of tea drug from tea, salt from seawater, husk from paddy, and iron powder from mixture of iron powder and aluminum powder. So, these are some mixtures and it contains a number of components. So, we need to separate these components. How? Let us have a look. First one is tea drug from tea. and this is separated by the tea drug from tea is separated by a method of filtration, because we use a filter and we allow to pass the tea through the filter. So, the tea and its drug can be separated, and the property which helps for this separation is the difference in the size of particles. The size of particles of tea and the particles of tea drug are different. The size of tea drug is more than the particles of tea. So, it is collected in the filter. And the next one is salt from seawater. So, salt from seawater is separated by a method of evaporation. We apply heat to the seawater. So, the water will evaporated when the heat reaches to a level of 100 degrees Celsius, but the salt leaves behind because salt needs more heat to vaporize. So, the property helps for separation of salt from seawater is difference in the boiling point of salt and the water. Okay, next one is separation of husk from the paddy. For preparing rice, the farmers have to separate the husk from the paddy. So, they lean the mixture of husk and paddy to downwards, and they apply air to this husk and paddy. So, they will get separated in two positions. So, the property which helps for this method of separation is the difference in the weight of husk particles and paddy particles. The paddy particles weighs more than the husk particles. So, while applying air, they will separated in two positions. Next one is separation of iron powder from mixture of iron and aluminum powder. This can be done by a method called magnetic separation. So, if we place a magnet near to the mixture, the iron powder particles will attracted to the magnet, and this will help for separation of iron powder and aluminum powder. And the property which helps for applying this method is the magnetic property. Iron shows magnetic property while aluminum powder does not show magnetic property. So, in this way we can separate iron powder and aluminum powder from their mixture. Okay, these are some occasions in our daily life when there needs to be separate these components from their mixtures. The tea drug from tea, it is separated by a method of filtration. The salt from seawater, that is separated by a method of evaporation. The husk from paddy is separated by a method of winnowing, and the iron powder from mixture of iron powder and aluminum powder is separated by magnetic separation, and these are their properties that helps for applying these methods. Okay, today we have learned about pure substances and mixtures. Do you remember what is pure substance and mixtures? Pure substances are substances made up of only one kind of particles, and mixtures are substances made up of different kind of particles. Then we have learned about some situations where the components of a mixture have to be separated. They are husk from paddy, the separation of tea drug from tea, the separation of iron powder from a mixture of iron powder and aluminum powder. And we have seen the methods of separation and the properties which helps for applying this kind of methods. So, that is all for today. If you have any doubts, leave it in our comment box. So, subscribe our channel Horario. Thank you.